Hello and welcome to today's presentation, Knowledge into Money, the 5-step strategy for turning what you know into immediate and recurring cash flow. My name is Larry Beecham, also known as Larry the Champion Builder, and I'm excited to do this training with you today. Now, who is this for? This is for anyone who has walk-around knowledge that they know for a fact has value and want to package and sell it in the marketplace without the struggle of trying to figure out how to do it on their own. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to determine what's in your head that actually has real world value that people would be happy to purchase from you, how to take that knowledge, which I call your brain brilliance, and package it for sale with minimal stress, headaches, or mistakes, how to leverage a simple non-technical process so you can start making money immediately, maybe tomorrow. My tried and true formula for overcoming your personal doubts about whether someone will buy your knowledge, why you don't have to be a guru, expert, celebrity, or well-known authority to make money with what you know, and the key to getting around that, and how to do all of this even if you've never been paid for what you know before. And my promise to you is a step-by-step strategy to identify exactly what's in your head that can be turned into bread, aka money, in the next 30 days or less, maybe tomorrow. Now, does this sound like you? Do you give away so much good information to people that you find yourself saying, I should be getting paid for this? Are you the expert that everybody seems to call when it comes to getting answers on certain subjects? Have you doubted yourself by saying to yourself, I'm just a stay-at-home mom, I'm just a desk worker, who's going to listen to me? Or why would someone pay me for something they could find on their own anywhere? Are you afraid of moving forward because you don't have a degree, designation, pedigree, certification in a certain area of knowledge? Do you feel the need to just give away your knowledge because you're afraid to charge, afraid you won't charge enough, or fear being judged for asking to be paid? Do you see the wonderful possibilities of making a life-changing income by helping people with what you know, but you just don't know where to start? And do you wake up every day with the nagging feeling that there's more to life than how you're currently living, but the fear of failure robs you of the power to pursue your dreams? Well, if that's you, you're not alone. Many people have these issues, but the real problem is this. You just don't know the 5 secrets you're going to learn in this training. Now, once you have them, you'll be able to cash in on your brain brilliance easily, quickly, and consistently. You will plug the holes in your money and avoid the pain associated with having or not having enough once and for all, and you'll feel the power and freedom that comes with knowing that you have total control over your money. You'll also wake up excited to know that your knowledge is helping to make someone's life or business easier. You'll be able to revive your dreams that were probably dormant or dead because now you'll have enough money to make them happen, and you'll join an elite group of others who have created an income source that sustains them now and into the future. And if you don't happen to know me, let me introduce myself again. I am Larry Beecham, Larry the Champion Builder. I'm a 10-year veteran of digital marketing. I'm an entrepreneur who lives right here in Florida, and I know how to sell my knowledge. As a matter of fact, I made my first $16,599 in one day, only 6 months into learning how to turn what I know into cash flow, which I'll tell you about in a moment. Now, I've coached over 300 entrepreneurs, business owners, and everyday people on how to sell their knowledge. And recently, I launched a private program where we help new clients make their first 6 figures in 12 months or less. So the story. Here's how I first came upon this, what you're learning. Back in 2009, I used to be a cable guy, and I ended up almost getting electrocuted trying to hook up service in an alley in Ohio where I lived. So I ended up looking for something else to do. Found an internet website, plugged my email in, and I was introduced to the world of internet marketing, but I didn't know anything about it. And I didn't have any money. So I started putting together content on LinkedIn for free. I did so well with it that I became one of the leaders in this marketing system that I had joined. I was on their leaderboard in multiple categories. The owners reached out to me in September of 2009 and invited me to come and do a training on my LinkedIn strategy. And I took 2 days to write my entire blueprint down. It was about 60, 70 pages. I got on this webinar at 9 o'clock at night, did a 45-minute training. And then at 10 p.m., I released my blueprint and sold it for $37. Now, there was 1,000 people on this training, and over 400 people purchased it that night. I think the number was 427. I think that's the number. More purchased it after that, but between 10 p.m. and midnight, by me turning what I know into cash flow with the strategies you're going to learn today, I was able to make that kind of money, and it changed my life. And since then, I've been able to do that over and over and over again, and different things that I know or have learned, and you're about to figure out how you can do the same thing as well. Now, These 5 secrets are things that you must know to convert your knowledge that's in your brain into immediate and sustainable cash so you can experience prosperity in your life. And I'm going to guide you through all 5 of them in this brief training session. So let's jump right into it. Secret number 1 is this: what or why is for free, but the how has a fee or should be charged. Now, have you ever had this happen to you? Hey, Larry, do you have a second? I just want to pick your brain. Can I pick your brain about something? I had a person call me one day struggling and stressed that they continuously got this happening to them, and they found themselves tying down an hour, 90 minutes or whatever, teaching someone, showing someone, walking someone through something that made their life easier, made their business more profitable, but yet they weren't better. Well, here, let me tell you what "can I pick your brain" really means. What it really means is you know something I don't. What it really means is I trust you to help me or show me. It means I want you to be my personal Google. And worse yet, since I know you, Larry, I expect it to be free because we're boys, because we're friends, we're family, we're whatever. But I'm willing to pay others for the same information. So here's my argument, and here's my position. You paid a price. Whatever you know that they're picking your brain for, you paid a price to get it, didn't you? You paid a time price, a money price, an experience price, a training and study price, a failure to success price. If you paid a price, why shouldn't they pay a price too? So this is why you need to learn how to give away the what and why and sell the how so you can make money. So here's an example. Larry, I want to build a house. Well, what I would say in response to that, and this assumes I know how to build a house. What you need to do is hire a contractor so they can dig a hole in the ground. And why you need to dig a hole in the ground is so you can lay a foundation so that house can be properly supported. Well, Larry, I've never hired a contractor before. Well, how do I hire a contractor? That's a money conversation. So that's secret number 1, is separating between the what and the why. Give that away for free as much as you like, and then learn to sell the how. That's where the money is. So here's my buddy Carly Hahn, who, the first time she watched this training or looked at it several years ago, she had an aha moment and said, I am guilty as charged of constantly having my brain picked. She decided to say enough is enough and began to make money by taking what she knows and turning it into immediate and sustainable cash flow. As you can see here, a couple of screenshots. Okay. And she's gone on to build a very, very successful business from basically selling her knowledge. Secret number 2 happens to be my favorite secret, is to know your money zone. Now, what am I talking about? Some of you, if not all of you, suffer from this debilitating disease called "it's just me-itis." It's just me. I'm just a school teacher. I'm just a housewife. I'm just a dad. I'm just. And because that's how you frame yourself, the knowledge that's in your head, you don't believe has any monetary value. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it really does. The other problem that you face is that even if it did have value, you may limit yourself to the belief that since you don't have a degree, a certification, a designation, a pedigree, you're not a quote unquote recognized authority or expert. Once again, you doubt that you have the opportunity to make money. I hope to prove to you that that's not true in this example. I want you to think about one thing that you know well. All right. Let's say, for example, you know how to have a successful marriage, right? Everybody always raves about how awesome you and your significant other, your marriage is. And you get calls and questions all the time about it, right? But what I want you to think about, this is Mount Marriage. In other words, everything that could ever be known about a successful marriage can be found on Mount Marriage. Does that make sense? That's what you're looking at right now. Now, that being said, would you agree that there's some, quote, gurus in this space? In other words, someone sitting on the top of the Mount Marriage mountain. These are best-selling authors. These are could be nationally known or internationally known pastors. These could be celebrities, on television. Steve Harvey comes to mind, right? He's written a book. He's a host of Family Feud. Someone would call him a guru because he's in the niche of relationships and marriage, right? Well, you're not him. You're not a nationwide celebrity, etc. and so forth. But you're also not someone that's at the base of the mountain of knowledge that doesn't know anything and wants to start climbing up that mountain to a certain quote unquote elevation. Well, this is the point. You, my friend, if you are in this example, the one that has a successful marriage, you haven't been married for 50 years, but maybe you're married for 15, And no, you're not a best-selling author, but as you just said, people look at you and they admire what you've been able to accomplish in your marriage. Long story short, the people at the base of the mountain are trying to at least get to where you are. They at least want to have a marriage that's healthy and that is, is enjoyable. So the point I'm trying to make is, as you have climbed up to this elevation of the mountain, notice you're not at the top, you're not at the bottom, but this is in fact your money zone. Let's use real estate as an example. Same thing. If you're in the real estate niche, insurance niche, I mean, even if you're hobbyist, you love the game of chess, everything I'm talking about applies on this mountain. Long story short, you just need to recognize that you do have value and you have something that people will pay for, but more succinctly, you are already somebody's expert. You're already somebody's expert. You're just not getting paid. So you need to recognize where is your money zone, and then you start capitalizing on it from there. Here's my buddy Jacques Morris, someone that recognized where his money zone is and decided to go ahead and start selling his knowledge. And as you can see, in 1 month, he had a $5,300 month by giving away his knowledge. When I say give it away, for a fee, that is, right? Secret number 3 is to use a proven process. And this is a discovery method. So you can really know for a fact what within my knowledge base is worth getting paid. Well, I want to introduce you to the process, or the proven process I call the print money formula. It's a simple to follow, non-technical step-by-step process for identifying your most profitable walk around knowledge and how to profit from it with ease. So let's go into it. So there's 6 easy to understand stages of the print money formula. Stage 1 is the money zone checklist. Number 2 is the selection process. Number 3 is the target market. Number 4, delivering value. Number 5 is to present your offer. And number 6, go ahead and print some money. But let's go into these in a little more detail. So the money zone checklist, what we're talking about is, what do you actually know? Taking time to really catalog it all. Just grab a piece of paper and write it down. Next up is pick one. Which one would you want to pick as the way to lead into the printing of money from what you know? Number 3 is who can benefit from that knowledge. Number 4 is how will you share it? How will you deliver value to people so they are aware that you have the answer to a question, solution to a problem, relief to pain, etc., and so forth? And what problem will you solve for them with what you know, and what will you charge to print money? All right, that's the formula. I've seen people make money on knowledge all the way from $7 all the way up to thousands of dollars. It all just depends on a couple of factors: what it is and how much confidence they have in getting it out there, and how the market sees the value that they're offering specific to what may not already exist. Okay, so that's the print money formula. So this is my buddy Londy Jones. This is my absolute favorite testimonial, because at the time of Londy learning this, she was 63 years old. She was a grandmother and struggling to find a way to put her grandchild through college. Okay, now if you read this, she says, now I'm paying for my, if somewhere down here it says, now I'm paying for her college by teaching other parents and grandparents how to find grants and scholarships. So she learned, or from this training realized, that the knowledge that she had on finding grants and scholarships had value, and that was what she used to get herself out of the pressures of taking care of the grandchild and also planning for secondary education. Now, a year later, she reached out to me again and started sharing with me how she helped a friend publish a book successfully. She charged him a nice penny for that. And she went on to talk about how many other ways she's allowed herself to make money now that she knows that it's possible. So you might be someone in this age group, and or not, but even if you're in this age group, I like Londy's story because she proves that at any age, you can turn on the money, you can turn on the flow of cash if you just decide to plug into the process. Secret number 4 is to bottle it. Now, what does that mean? Well, this gets into the heart of how what you have can be sold, and sold for a lot of money. I want to show you 2 quick stories about bottling. The first one is the story of Coca-Cola. Now, just real quickly, everybody listening to me has heard of Coke, drank a Coke, but you may not know the history of Coca-Cola, but it's relevant here. Back in 1886, in Atlanta, a pharmacist by the name of Dr. John Pemberton created a distinctive tasting soft drink that could be sold in soda fountains. He created a flavored syrup, and he took it to a neighborhood pharmacy, which was when it was mixed with carbonated water, and it was deemed excellent. People loved it, right? In just 2 years, after creating what's now become the #1 selling drink, Dr. Pemberton sold portions of his business to various parties, with the majority of the interest sold to Atlanta businessman Asa Candler. And then under his leadership, distribution of Coke expanded to soda fountains beyond Atlanta. But in '94, impressed by the growing demand for Coke and the desire to make beverage portable, Joseph Biderharn installed bottling machinery in the rear of his Mississippi soda fountain, becoming the first to put Coke in bottles. In 1899, three enterprising businessmen in Chattanooga, Tennessee, secured the exclusive rights to bottle and sell Coke. These three entrepreneurs purchased the bottling rights for just $1. And these three guys, Benjamin, Joseph, and John, developed what became the Coca-Cola worldwide bottling system. Now, here's the point. Before the bottling came along, they were serving it out of fountains, and they were only getting 9 servings a day in the city of Atlanta. But today, because they bottled it, over 1.9 billion servings of Coke go out globally. That's amazing. Can you think about that? I got this other amazing story, but this one right here is going to attach itself to you more than the Coke probably. But it's Elisha and the miracle of the widow's oil. I love this story. So just real quick to explain it, this widow's husband died, had debt, couldn't pay it, and the man that her husband owed the debt to was coming to take her children into slavery to pay off the debt. So she cried out to Elisha, and Elisha says, well, I wonder how I can help you. What do you have in your house? And she says, nothing. Well, but this little bottle of oil. And so for whatever reason, Elisha looked at that oil and could see something. And he says, here's what you do. Go up and down the street and borrow jugs and bowls from all your neighbors. Get as many as you can, and then come back, lock the door behind you, pour that oil into these containers, right? Pour it all out. And she did just that. She locked the door, her and her sons. She brought in the containers, and she filled up the containers with the oil. And when she told Elisha that, the final thing he told her was to go sell the oil and make good on your debts. Live, both you and your sons, on what's left. In other words, once he was able to see the value of the oil, he gave her a game plan, which led to her being able to pay off her debt and then live on the rest. She went from being so poor that her kids were headed to slavery to now being able to pay the man and then live on the rest. Well, some could call it rich. Even if it's not rich, it's at least enough sustenance from what she already had in house. And that is the point. So once you uncover your brain brilliance, you'll be able to bottle and sell it. And my question to you is, are you like the widow in the widow's oil story? Do you have, quote unquote, oil, something in your mind, in your experience, okay, that can be poured out to get you out of debt, to ease your financial burdens? That's the whole point of today's training. And the secret number 5 is to find your Elisha. In other words, get a mentor. Maybe there's some blind spots that you have that you can't really see the money in what you know. And as I said a second ago, what is your oil? You need to have someone that can help you. One of my favorite shows as we wrap up was back when I was a kid was Antique Roadshow, and it was on PBS. And people would bring these antiques to these experts to have them appraise it to see if it had any value. Now, a lot of times it had little to no value, but occasionally people come along and they had some of the things that were treasures that can be sold for hundreds, if not thousands, or tens of thousands of dollars. But they didn't know that because they didn't have the eyes to see, just like the lady in the widow's oil story didn't have the eyes to see. They needed to bring it before someone who would potentially be able to know, just like Elisha could recognize the value in the oil. All I'm saying is that don't walk away from this training just saying this is a great training and be just like the people who had the antique that may be in the attic or the basement. Get in front of someone that can help you see the value. I'm guaranteeing you, listening to me, you have it. You just don't know it yet, but it's in you. And my final case study is my buddy, Andre Gaskin. This gentleman was a homeless veteran. He and I sat down at a Leroy Selmer's restaurant for 90 minutes as he told me his story of struggling to pay his child support and the fear of being jailed over that. And after 90 minutes of us talking, we were able to uncover something that he had in his knowledge base that he can go right out and make money, or he could pour out and bottle his oil. And here's a quick testimonial of him picking up $1,500 in one day by doing what you've been learning in this training today. He found a chiropractic office, offered them some value, helped the business. $1,500 later, he was able to make money. He even told me the story of going to court and being able to actually get caught up on his child support because he was able to discover within his knowledge base money. He didn't have to go get a job. He had to borrow it. He always had it within him. He always had the oil in him. He just needed somebody like me to show him how to pour it out. So today I promise a step-by-step strategy to identify what's in your head that can be turned into money fast, how to cash in on your brain brilliance easily, quickly, and consistently, and how to plug the holes in your money and avoid the pain associated with not having enough once and for all, and how to feel the power and freedom that comes with knowing that you have total control of your money. You also learned, and I promised, how to wake up excited that your knowledge is helping make someone else's life or business easier, how to revive your dreams that were dormant or dead because now you have money, and how to create an income source that sustains now and into the future. And as I wrap up, one of the things my buddy Delatoro McNeil would say is this: you are the aspirin to someone's headache. You are the aspirin to someone's headache. But I add to that, aspirin ain't free. You have to buy aspirin. So why don't you go ahead and bottle up your aspirin? Why don't you pour out your oil? And why don't you turn that knowledge into cash flow to save your home, to put savings away, pay for college, just live a more comfortable life, vacation more, retire, quit your job before such and such age, start that project, give to that nonprofit. The options are limitless. So these are the 5 things that you need to win. This is just a recap. Secret number one, what and why is free. The how is where you get paid. Number 2 is to know your money zone. Know exactly what range you are in right now that can actually get you money. Use the print money formula, the proven system that we covered today. Take your knowledge and bottle it up, just like the widow's oil story, just like Coke. And then find a mentor, get an Elisha in your life to help you see the maximum potential of where your knowledge can go as it relates to turning it into cash flow. Now, these are the 5 shifts that you need, and alone, they're enough to propel you to your financial finish line. So now you have a choice. You can either close up this webinar and go back to whatever you're doing and allow the fear, the doubt, and maybe the cynicism stop you from looking at what you do know that could be turned into cash flow, or you can step up to the plate and you can move forward. And if you would like to move forward, by all means, do what you learned today. But in case you need a little help, I'm here to help. My team and I have set aside some time over the next couple of days to speak to you about how you can apply these 5 secrets to start taking what you know and turning it into immediate and sustainable cash flow. Now, on the call, we're going to talk about fears, if you have any doubts, also any key questions that you may need answers to that weren't covered in today's training, and then your step-by-step game plan, your print money formula. Now, this call has no cost or obligation to speak to us. Just at the end of this presentation, there'll be a way that you can reach out to us. But who is this call for? Well, you must be tired of giving away information to people that you should be getting paid for. You must be ready to transition from being everyone's free expert into being the paid expert. And you must be ready to get help with overcoming your self-doubts about being just a nobody that no one will want to pay. Okay, you got to be ready for that. So why are we doing this? Well, some people just need to be reassured that they aren't crazy for believing that they deserve more. We love to lend support and give back to help you achieve your goals. And maybe you just want an expert feedback, on what your knowledge is really worth, just like in the Antique Roadshow. You want to talk to me or my team, and we can help you with that. Or you may want to explore how we can jump in there and help you directly, right? Be your actual Elisha. And if so, we can discuss that to see if there's a good fit for both of us. If not, no big deal. But at least by the time the call is over, you'll know exactly what you need to do to move forward. So as we conclude, book a complimentary session now. There's a link on this page where you can click to schedule. And then once you do schedule and get on the phone, just ask about how you can get your copy of the Print Money Formula Master Blueprint, and that'll get you started. I hope I've been able to add some value to your life today. With that being said, click on the link to schedule your session. Go forth in victory, and we'll see you soon. Take care and God bless.